Show did. It's the 441 Martians. Peace, love, and all that goodness. Eat the thumbs. How y'all feel? Just going live. We got to tap in and get this energy. Check in. Because I'm going to be doing these. We're doing these daily, man. Today's Sunday. It's the beginning of the week. So we kind of just feeling them out, seeing what's going on. Catching nature trail before we get the day started, before we really do some work. You know what I mean? So, how y'all feel out there? Is it love or is it love? Is it love or is it love? We got Neptune and Saturn. We got Neptune and Saturn in Aries right now. So, we're dealing with a huge transition in how we spiritually involve ourselves and how we spiritually network through the masses. So we're looking at new networking systems with Pluto in its Aquarian energy. It's also in retrograde until October. But that retrograde is allowing you to reflect at the old so that you can get rid of some of that stuff. You know, Pluto is the trash man. They're taking out the trash. So a lot of trash is going out right now. And we're going to be getting our hands dirty. But once you take the trash out, what do? You come into a new home and you can rebuild, you can reset, you can revitalize, and you can learn how to structure a new. So we're going to begin this thing what I call crow calls, spiritual crow calls. So these spiritual crow calls are going to involve understanding and understanding our energy. It's going to help us capitalize on grounding ourselves in such a wild, illusionary 3 density and realizing our fullest potentials in the 5th density. We pull that 5th density down through the 4th and into the 3rd, and that's what they call heaven on earth. And this is what God at church is not going to tell you. So we're going to set church up right here, y'all. This is the first day. We calibrating right now. Y'all come on in this motherfucker because we're not playing games. We're about to really tap into some ancestral energy. And however it comes is how I'm going to bring it. Spirit's always talking. Spirit's always giving me the download. And it's always showing me how to involve my people, how to give my people a new chance, how to give my people a new idea and identity. You know what I mean? So we're recreating identities. We're having a rebirth. There's a rebirth period that we're dealing with right now. And Jurassic World Rebirth movie explained to you that there's some primordial shit in the water. And if you're not ready for it, you're going to have a big problem. You're going to have a big problem. So you want to elevate yourself. How do you elevate yourself? Let's just deal with the elements, you feel me? You got water, fire, air, earth. You know what I mean? Right now the sun is the fire. And the sun does what? Purifies, creates new. So right now it's purification process. The sun is heating up to a new exhaled rate, and the Schumann resonance is spiking. The Schumann resonance is going all the way up to a level where it's pretty much pushing the DNA consciousness into the right direction, which means up in the more difficult spaces. So if you notice, you go online, you'll see a lot of the chosen ones talking about somebody tried to kill them. And this is facts because somebody tried to kill me. I'm most certainly a sacrifice, and we're going to get into all of this stuff. This is the juicy part of my life that I have not been able to talk about. But my entire life growing up, I was in a family that has tried to kill me. And it sounds crazy, sounds wild, but the chosen ones, y'all understand exactly what's going on. And y'all can sympathize because you've been on missions like this, predator missions. So we're still in the trench right now, so that's why we're having these spiritual crow calls. And the deeds are not complete as far as karma, but retribution is back. And that's what this dog day, this July the 4th day is all about. Jason months, you know what I mean? The Jason months, the Candyman. Chosen ones come back for revenge, and it's in the spirit. It's no physical revenge. We don't do 3D revenge. We're real pleasant individuals, real pleasant creatures. We don't involve ourselves with bullshit until we have to recreate someone's destiny, which means have karma back into their life. So a lot of times, chosen ones, we have to take the high road, ascend our being, and we have to allow the demons to die. So we're slaying demons, the demon slayer. The demon slayer is all about exactly what it's saying. You're looking at a lot of different demons. Demons could be sloth, laziness. Demons could be eating too much. Demons could be, whatever. It could be physical death, but there's always a demon attached to an idea. And that's just the idea of devil energy and something that's going to suck your energy away. You follow what I'm saying? So we recalibrate under the red sun. We involve ourselves with alignment of the natural ordinance. So the natural ordinance will give you the intuition to know how to move and which step to take and which way the God's going to present your next move. You know what I mean? You don't have to ask permission. You know what I mean? You can just will it into existence. That's what the sun is all about. The solar plexus chakra is right up in here. That's where you were born from, that navel button. So potentially you can activate by pulling your shirt up, and that's where the cut-off shirts come from back in the day. And you can use the sun to attach directly to it. And you can will your own existence into rotation. And you can Thanos snap yourself into a new reality. You feel what I'm saying? We just talking shit right now, y'all. So I want to be able to do this once a AM, and I want y'all to come in here with questions so I can have some answers. I can tell some more stories, because most certainly I got a bunch of stories. I got plenty of stories. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? For real that happened? No bullshit that happened. And I'm going to have a book. I'm going to write a book, I swear. And whoever's in on this right now, y'all early. Y'all real early. But I'm famous pretty much. And we'll look back on this day. It's July, 5th? July 6th, 2025. We'll see how it feels in about a year and a half, 2 years. See, I'm still in the trench. It's part of my life. And I have a very secret mission, so I had to stay undercover and under wraps. And God's children never show their hand. You know what I mean? God's children never show their hand until they're able to actually provide a stable table. You feel me? So the provisions were being set while I stayed protected and under wraps. So no one really knows me. I'm popping out. This is my first summer. We out here. It's a roll call. It's a roll call, family. You feel me? This is all we doing. We on TikTok, not to be bullshitting. We exposing the secrets. We exposing the matrix. We decoding the matrix. So this is what we'll be doing on these spiritual crow calls. I probably have some topics on them each week until I get some traction and people really come up with some topics. So today is just the introduction. The red sun. Go down my profile and you'll see me talking about a lot of the red sun energy. And that red sun is very important to this reset and this resurgence. So you're gonna find value in going outside. You're gonna find resonance in alignment with nature. You know what I mean? You're going to find alignment with fasting. You don't want to bog down your avatar with a bunch of extras. You don't need a bunch of stuff in this avatar. This avatar can work itself when you align it with nature. A little bit of water, fruits and stuff, vegetables, a few carbohydrates just for you to think, because you got to burn off some steam. It's just like a car. It's just like a vehicle. So if you realize your avatar is a vehicle, you do maintenance on it weekly, you won't have no problems. But if you don't do maintenance on it, that shit's gonna fall the fuck apart. It's very basic, but it's real detail oriented. And the details is when you get away from the devil, because the devil is in the details. And you can't be tricked when you're paying attention to the details. There's nothing else you can do. You have to acknowledge it, and you have to go the other way. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself in a world full of hurt, in a world full of problems, and the crow's gonna be calling. That's what this is all about, the crow calls. So for all my wounded healers, this is where we at today. This is where we're gonna be rolling through, and we're gonna be doing these every day until we get some traction, until we get our tribe. This is the tribe call. We out. We out here, y'all. Sunday to Saturday. We probably gonna be every day, but y'all get on here in the AMs, man. We rise early. And if you don't get in here in the AM, you catch it back on the rerun. But you're gonna get this edification and you're gonna get this energy. Spirit says y'all gonna get this work. You know what I mean? Crow calls, like I said, it's all about who's out there lost, who's out there needs they gain. Because you know, there's a language of birds, and I'm gonna have a whole episode on that. But while we're talking about the crow and we're introducing this life, crows and ravens, they're like birds with gangs. They're like always deep. If you see one crow, it's usually another set. It's usually 4 or 5 of them behind. And sometimes you see them in 18, 20 deep. So the crow is real gang stalkish. So you see an owl come around, the crow's gonna ward it off. You see a hawk come around, the crow's gonna ward it off, because they don't want the predators hanging around trying to knock them off. So you see an eagle come around, the crows are gonna gang up on them, and they're gonna ward them off. So the crow call is all about tribe essence. Uranus is entering Gemini, and that is personally my energy. I'm a rising Gemini. I got 3 placements in Gemini: Rise, Lilith, and Chiron. So I'm very much made for leadership when it comes to talking and expressing the values through speech. You feel me? I'm able to express the values through speech, and I'm able to say what other people will not say. Some people are scared. Some people are very, very scared. Scary. And I ain't talking about like scared to do something. I'm talking about scared to just stand up for themselves and learn who they are and say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to do things like that that are very scary for yourself, but we always got to see it through. You got to see it through and let God, you know, maintain your spirit. Your spirit is going to guide you through. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of hate, a lot of depleted energy when people see you excel into ascension. Because chosen ones got it hard because there's so many people around us that are underachievers. People that don't want to do the work. People that don't think shadow work is real. People that don't think astrology is real. People that don't understand this 3 density. People that cannot decode this 3rd density. People that cannot read through the 4th so that they can get to the 5th and explain themselves right back to themselves. You understand what I'm saying? If you can't explain yourself right back to yourself, to who you are and what you just said, what you just did, and why you did it, then you have a real difficult problem on balancing your energy. You're not going to be able to manifest things when you don't know who, what, when, where, why, because you won't understand the cycle that you're experiencing. The cycles of this life is very important because we're coming out of that lunar cycle that was involving a lot of heightened low-level magic, and now we're getting into the sun cycle, this blue Kachina. The blue Kachina energy is going to involve, like I've been talking, this red sun is going to involve your DNA upgrade. That's that supercell. That's what the whole movie Supercell was all about. They got 6 episodes. I think they got a season 2 coming out, so shout out to homie. But this supercell energy, we're upgrading and we're getting online, y'all. Super Saiyan is active. This shit is real. It's not a joke, and it is not a drill. So I want my chosen ones to realize this potential, and I want us to get into alignment. I want us to get into alignment so that we can experience this fruitful potential, because 2025 is only going up from here. It's only going up from here. There's nothing else that they can do. So you have to realize your potential now so that we can start to come online and we can start to really get into our space of continuum, and it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant time. You feel me? I'm looking forward to this ascension protocol, and I'm looking forward to this. So we're going to be able to tap in, time in and tie in the dots. We'll be able to tie the dots up. You'll be able to see left, see right, and you'll be able to look straight when you need to. It's a very important balance with the Ma'at's energy. You have a scale, you got a balance with Libra. On both sides, you have lust, and then you have spirit. And Libra does what? Libra gets you started for your spiritual journey, because Virgo is the last physical house, and then you're looking at Libra tapping into the spiritual essence of the zodiac wheel. So Libra will have a balance in your experience, and you're going to need to look for the just the right amount of pressure that you need in your life. It's all potential. That's why you have to do shadow work. I can't know what the hell you need. You can't know what the hell I need. We got to go within, and you have to really value your health. You have to really seek God, and you have to really want to change the particulars, because a lot of us were trained on this third density bullshit and this mindset that they feed to you on TV, the shit they send to you at school, and the way that they train you throughout your process everywhere you go. So having to undo and unplug from the matrix is a very difficult process. But once you get into a rhythm, you're able to plug in and plug out. You can plug in when you need to, some 3 God shit, and then when you don't want to deal with this 9 God shit, you can do it like that. So let's talk about how the 3, the 6, and the 9 works, y'all. So the 3, the 6, and 9, we talk about this is very important. Tesla coils and blase, blah, all this shit. But what's the key to this whole 3, 6, 9? The key is when you're looking at the tarot cards. The Empress is the 3, the Lovers is the 6, and the 9 is the Hermit. So you're looking at a experience of love, and you have the 3 densities of love. You have Taurus, which is self-love. You have Libra, which is universal love. And then you have the 9, the Pisces, the exalted love, the love of everything, the love of it all. You know what I mean? So these 3 densities, they exist within you, and you have to unlock them by doing what? By loving yourself in the 3, and then loving someone in the 6, and then loving all in the 9. And that's how these 3 revolutions work. And a lot of people want to explain this to you when they talk about the importance of 3, 6, and 9. That's the key right there. The key is to have self-love. You got to balance it out. You're not going to do too much indulging, but you're going to do the things that you love. You know what I mean? You're going to have Libra. You're not going to have too much loving someone, but you're going to love someone. You feel me? And then you have the exaltation of loving all, which is the Piscean energy. And the loving all can be loving the trees, loving the leaves, understanding that the water moving is an active being, and sending that just as much respect as you would anything else that's alive. So that type of energy is where you find your balance at. You know what I mean? You can master all three levels, 3, 6, and 9. And that Tesla starts to coil, and that Kundalini starts to rise, and then you're able to create, and you're able to send you're able to send energy to others. You feel me? You're able to send energy to others so that they can calibrate and so that they can become Tesla coils as well. Because sometimes we get stuck on the three God stuff, polygamy and debauchery and, certain things. And we don't understand 6 and 9. Or we'll get stuck on the 6 and we just love another person. But we'll still litter and throw trash out into the earth. So we never make it to the 9. When we make it to the 9 though, 9 side, you decoded the matrix. You see what this stuff is all about. It's like getting to the end of the Maze Runner, the end of the Hunger Games, the Katniss, catching fire. So every one of these movies are about heroes' journeys, and they involve a little bit of you or a lot of bit of you, depending on how chosen you are, because most of these CIA representatives are involved in movies, and they pretty much know who the energies are out here in this world. And they know exactly who we are, the aliens, and then they'll put out stories on TV, but they'll wash it. So they'll change the ending into something deadful and faithful, and then they'll put programmed propaganda inside of it, you feel me? So we really need to find understanding within so that they don't trick you when you're watching these movies. These movies have a lot of keys in them, but if you don't know what you're looking at, the keys will evade you, the energy will lose you, and the captivation will be lost. So we're just talking sun activation, introducing the red sun for these dog days, these Jason months. Like I was saying, this is chosen energy. It's for the comeback. It's a comeback story. You know what I mean? A lot of chosen ones are counted out. They done threw you in the pool, they walked off, Camp Crystal Lake. What happened? Jason come back and start wrecking shop, getting everybody. Oh, you was in on this too? Oh, all right, bet. Psh. Oh, don't forget, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna walk too. It's a slow creep. It's a slow creep, my G's. We not gonna play with this. You know what I mean? The Shango lightning bolts will catch you. I don't have to run to you. So, the dog days. You know, God and dog, those are two polar opposites, but you need both. So God is in essence the Aquarius energy. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of the Aquarius energy and a little bit of the, who else we dealing with? You got a little bit of the Sagittarius energy. You know what I mean? But then on the opposite end, you're dealing with Leo, Cancer, Gemini. You know what I mean? So those two polarities are just polarities. Those are the opposite sides of the wheel. I left Capricorn out on the other side. But those are three opposites. And you're calibrating that wheel right now. You know what I mean? 72 demons, 72 angels. And Solomon's wisdom will tell you that there are two sides to a coin, and there's a duality. And your chaos can be melted into two. I say two, into one. It's like the beast. Remember Split, the movie? And he turned into the beast, right? So all of these different energies were pretty much evolving into one avatar. That one avatar was sending its energy directly to its will, whatever it needed to do. The will was to carry out the deadly deeds of getting the demons off the earth. It's a predator story. You know how they talk that predator shit? Predators come down and they hunt for sport. If they don't hunt for sport, they hunting the demons, and they're the guardians of the galaxy. The guardians of the galaxy are the warriors, and we achieve greatness through our potential of being incognito. So like I said, us chosen ones, we are incognito, and we'll be out of touch until we're in touch. You feel me? We'll be out of touch until we're in touch. So I want y'all to use this energy, man. This energy is very important. And we're online, y'all. Wi-Fi is lit. And all we're needing to do is let that pineal gland touch that sunlight, catch that sunlight, catch them sun rays, and the blue kachina gonna work its magic. You know what I mean? That energy is gonna work its magic. And you're gonna be Luffy in here. You get touched out here. But these shows, let me know which one of y'all's shows is y'all's favorite, and I'll break it down. Because these shows will explain to you exactly who you are. But they'll put a little whitewash in it. What I mean by whitewash is they'll put their little culture into it, and they'll twist the ending so that it's not a chosen story all the way. Yeah, like take Lovecraft Country. He wasn't supposed to die in the end of that movie. That was a whitewash. They washed him up. You know what I mean? Lovecraft Country never came back again either, huh? So it'd be like that. That's how the energy captivates your essence. That's how Hollywood takes your soul. That's how CIA steals your birthright. You know what I mean? They're very, very conniving and very, very cunning. And this is very, very underhanded. So us chosen ones have to expose this truth. So a lot of you have stories on TV and you wonder why you're so connected to this movie. You wonder why you're so excited about this movie. It's because it's a story about you. It's a story connected directly to you. You know what I mean? And whatever level that may be, it depends on your avatar. But all of us are from a divine source. And the divine source is an exactitude of consciousness, the Christ consciousness, Jesus Christ. That's what we're dealing with. So that Jesus Christ energy is involving a online resurgence. They said Jesus was coming back. This is what we're waiting on, y'all. This is what we're waiting on. Now you can go to church and think that pastor's gonna save you, but why would the pastor save you instead of God saving you? Directly tapping into the sunlight, the Ra, so the Amun can be seen. The Amun Ra, put it together, that's a full circle of energy, and that brightness can captivate the will of whatever the hell you need, whatever you may need. So you never need to worry about what you're gonna get tomorrow, because you know spirit has your back. And if you calibrate yourself in an alignment, you do God's will, you will get favor. And you will always see retribution, those Ma'at scales balancing. Can I get an amen in the church? Come on, y'all. Somebody give me an amen. Where we at? Where we at? I know it's early. We on early time, because the demons don't get up this early. The demons still sleep, y'all. We don't calibrate with the demons. Sometimes we go out with the demons though. But when we calibrate, we up with the godliness. We up with Godship. So y'all go to my Instagram. I got Moordreamzll, and I'm exposing my life, and I'm exposing the truth of how people tried to kill me and how people tried to set me up my entire life. And now they're trying to set me up. I'm still in the trench, and it's still going down. I'm still living in the devil's lair. You feel me? It's a real Mufasa story. It's a real Simba comeback story. It's a real Scar killed your daddy and made you the fucking villain story. I swear to God. So if y'all interested in some juicy stuff like that, y'all follow my life and follow this trail. I'm gonna show y'all how the Matrix exposes itself. The devil's always in the details, you feel me? The devil's always in the details. The details are always going to expose how, what, when, and where. But if you don't pay attention to the details, if your mind is too convoluted and you can't see with this, then you're going to have a very difficult time exploring the truth. Because the 4D will talk to you in a way that you don't understand because you're looking 3D. But once you understand the 5D, you'll be able to realize your potential and you'll be able to know what the 3D is explaining. You'll be able to get the messages from the 4D and you'll be able to maintain your resonance by way of staying tapped in alignment. So the better alignment you are, the easier you are to be reached by your ancestrals. So y'all remember that movie Predator versus Alien, right? Movie was lit, movie was on fire. So they know exactly what's going on. They'll present things to the family in a proper manner as which to give you the truth, but to not give you the truth. And I'm gonna have occult movies on YouTube and Patreon soon. I got a few episodes on there right now. I got 3 episodes up there, but we're gonna have a full catalog of occult movies explaining this. It's gonna be a ride. We're gonna talk about every movie and we're gonna break them down. We're gonna probably put them on Patreon so we can do scene by scene. Talk about Meteor Man. Talk about what's the other one that they banned from TV? Dogma. So all these movies they ban because they don't want your consciousness to connect to the frequency of truth. And this is all we're dealing with this year. The sun cycle speaks on truth. Lunar cycles had a lot of hidden shadows and a lot of hidden depths. But anyway, Predator versus Alien was lit because Sanaa Lathan is the main character, and she starts off, she's doing what? She's on a mountaintop. She's hanging from a mountain, and she's enjoying her life, she's having her best life, if you will. So that means her conscious level is up. She has a very high conscious level. So she's elected to go on an excursion. She goes on this excursion with some human beings who are trying to pretty much find out what's going on down into this tomb, and they're trying to steal all the richness in this tomb. So what happens? Once they get into the pyramid, which is inside the earth, the pyramid activates a monitoring system that lets the ancestors in the ethers know that something is trying to expose or steal the richness from within. Ethers know that something is trying to expose or steal the richness from within. So then they send in a fresh new, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get it out because somebody just called me, my bad. But they send in a fresh new jungle bug, a Phantom of the Opera, so that you can calibrate and you can deep dive and you can get low and then you can expose the demons. You can hang their heads and you can get them. The demons are the aliens in the movie, right? Remember when something got into the predator or the human, the alien get into there? It's a whole scenario I can't remember. But that's to let you know that there's a demon, then there's a main demon, and then the main demon is creating demons. And the demons is all metaphor for the things that are messing with your aura, messing with your mind, dealing with your structure, you feel me? So you want to exacerbate your ability to expose the crowds, expose the demons, and expose the truth. Because the truth is not always easy to do, and that's why the whole predator scenario is a Phantom of the Opera. It's like a proud moment. It's like, hurrah, because it's like badges. It's the game of the gods. And this is what we have to deal with as chosen ones, y'all. This is what we do as chosen ones. We have to calibrate ourselves in a space where we're involving the evolution, not revolving. You know what I mean? A lot of us got lost in that song, that word revolution, and I am a revolutionary. And revolutionary mindset is just going into the circles. So we're having an evolutionary mindset. And we're going to do this daily. We're going to do this weekly. And we're going to maintain this org field so that people can resonate with something real on TikTok. We're not going to just be on here with bullshit, and we're not going to have a bunch of fake fraudulent stories. We're going to calibrate the realness, and we're going to seek truth. We're going to expose the truth. You know what I mean? So go watch that Alien versus Predator movie. That was real good because Sanaa Lathan ends up helping the Predator, and she gets taken onto the ship. So that was the initiation story of Predator turning into a chosen one, a guardian of a galaxy, if you will. That's the Marvel version. That's in the Marvel universe, the Guardians of the Galaxy. And Gamora was Thanos' child. And Thanos had the knowing that he needed to snap people into a new reality. Most people weren't going to like it. Some people weren't going to understand it. But his ability to go against everyone and snap that whole situation out of place was the divine right. And this is what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with the Thanos snap. But in the movie, they whitewashed it, and they went and got Thanos and killed him. That was bullshit. I stopped watching Avengers when they killed him. I don't even know what happened after that. But anyway, we're just exposing the truth, y'all. So the spiritual crow call is gonna be paramount that y'all get in here and y'all build with me. You know what I mean? I need people on live. I need people asking questions. I need my family in here really showing love and showing up, because this is the spiritual crow call. This is the tribe call, calling out to my fam. You know what I mean? Thanos snapping them. Thanos snapping them. You feel me? I'm going to get out of here, though. I'm going to continue my little day. I got to do some work. Got to get to work. But y'all be peace. Y'all be love. Got a tribe to attend to, y'all. One.